Hi there. Hey, got a question for you. Do you know how to do any brake falls? No? Well then, we'll have to remedy that. Hey, how's it going? Eric here with Two World Martial Arts. If there's any video that is the most important that I put out, it would be this one. And possibly the next video that I put out. And these are videos that can apply to everyday life. It's not just martial arts and stunt work, but literally everyday life. It can possibly save your life if you know how to utilize these techniques. And this video is based on brake falls, or ukeme, as we say in judo. These techniques are designed to protect you during a fall in various directions. So let's get started. So the very first technique that we're going to go over is the rear brake fall. Ushiro ukeme. Ushiro ukeme. This means rear brake fall. This is a staple in judo and other throwing arts. It's also a staple in stunt work, and this is also one that I consider something that can help you in everyday life. I'm going to show you the very first technique, Ushiro ukeme. I'm going to show you how to progress it from the very basics and work our way up to a full standing position. So first I'm going to show you what it looks like from a full standing position. Again. Now, how I like to start off learning how to do any of these brake falls is start from a very low impact scenario. So I have this mat here. I'm going to start showing the basics of how Ushiro ukeme, or rear brake fall, works. So for right now, just get into a seated position. Just have a nice basic seat. We're going to grab onto our legs. The first thing that we're going to do is bring our chin towards our chest. We're going to pin our chin to our chest. That's actually a quick little tongue twister. Put your chin to your chest. Put your chin to your chest. Yeah, a little weird. Anyways, all that we're going to do is roll back and forward. So it looks like this. As I'm rolling back, notice my head is not touching the mat. That's the very first thing that we're going to be working on. So that's step number one. Now, step number two is we're going to start working on the slaps. So, first thing first, you want to cross your arms, basically like hug yourself. So now we're going to, when we go down, we're going to slap the ground, just as we hit the ground, just as our back hits the ground. Again, we're going to keep our chin tucked to our chest. Okay? So another key point with the arm slap, you don't want to have your arms at a 90 degrees perpendicular angle. You don't want it up high, that's going to injure your shoulders. You want it to be around 45 degrees. So as I'm kneeling up, I hug myself, I bring my hands palm down, and I'm at around 45 degrees. You don't want to go too close, you don't want to go too high. Hug yourself, slap the ground, palm down. So it would look like this. Again, walk back and forth. It can be somewhat of an ab workout. It's also a very good warm-up to prepare your body for any of these judo throws. Before I continue, there is one other tip that you should be doing is when you are falling backwards, by the time your back hits the mat or the ground, you need to exhale. Try to think of a balloon that is very full, and then you start squeezing it. That's kind of what it feels like when you are holding your breath and you're hitting the ground. Even if you do proper technique, when you hold your breath, it really hurts. So you want to learn how to exhale. As you start falling higher and higher, you will eventually need to start doing a kia, or a very quick burst to yell as you fall. This will help expel the air out of your lungs as quickly as possible. This is what I mean. With a very soft kia, since I'm very low to the ground. Here. 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 And that's those are the bases for Ushido Ukemi. Now that we got up to this point, good job. We're now moving on to the next highest point, and that's going to be starting from a squatting position. So this is how it looks. A nice deep squat. Again, I'm going to try to roll backwards. Every single technique that I have shown you so far, the slap, tucking your chin to your chest, and breathing as you land, all three of those fundamentals still apply. These are the bases, and they are necessary for every step of the break falls. So this is how it looks from a squatting position. So once again, I will try the best I can to slow it down. I hug myself, and I'm going to roll and slap the ground. Again, 45-degree angle, exhale as I land. And remember, keep your chin tucked towards your chest. This will help keep your head from hitting the ground. If you made it this far, congratulations, I applaud you. Now we're going to start with the next level, and that is a half squat. So instead of a deep squat, we're now halfway up between a deep squat and standing. Now there's going to be some impact as you land. Again, the same fundamentals apply. Now as we are up higher, you're starting from a higher position, you're going to have to start doing a kia as you land. That will get the air out of your lungs as fast as possible. This is what it looks like. Start from a higher halfway squat. Again, I hug myself. And that is from a half squatting position. Now we are ready to progress up to a full standing Ushido Ukemi. So all of the techniques that we've gone over, the slaps, tucking your chin, and exhaling, is all still going to apply. These are the fundamentals to any of the break falls. So now that we're up to this level, we're going to start standing straight up. So are you ready for this? Now that you finished Ushido Ukemi, or the rear big fall, you will move on to the Yoko Ukemi, or side fall. Yoko Ukemi. Yoko Ukemi. And this is what it's going to look like from a seated position. This is the Yoko Ukemi. This is the final position. As you notice, I'm on the side of my leg, I'm on the side of my torso, and this is making the impact. This is what's slapping. I'm keeping my head off the ground. Again, my shin is tucked in to my chest. This hand, my top hand, is going to be resting on my belly. My top leg is going to be spread apart from my bottom leg, and it's in a bent position, feet flat on the floor. This hand, I'm going to hug myself, hug my left shoulder, come down at a 45-degree angle, palm down. This is going to slap the ground. Okay, this is from a very, the most basic position, from a lying position. Now, sometimes as we get more advanced, you will learn how to switch from here to here. This mat is not exactly wide enough, but really you're looking to go from your right side, roll over to your left side. If you understood this part and you got some practice in, let's move on to the next step. If you understood how to do a Yoko Ukemi from the lowest position, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Let's move on to the next step. Now we are going from a deep squat position. And this is how it's going to look. I start from a deep squat position. My falling side leg is going to be straight out, hug myself, and fall. Once again, falling side leg straight out, hug myself, and fall. One note about your legs, why they are being spread apart. Once we start going towards the more advanced falling techniques like Ukemi or forward rows, you will notice when you are being thrown, the leg is trying to be as wide as possible. Reason being, you don't want your top knee, I'll bring it nice and close, you don't want your top knee to come crashing down right on top of your bottom knee. Ooh, that hurts. Spread it as far as you can. This way, when this leg is going to flop over, it's far away from your bottom knee. Again, injury prevention is what we are looking for. So once again, I will start a little bit slower. I will start from a deep squat. You can support yourself with your hands, that's fine. Bring one leg out. Okay, if I'm going to fall to my right, I will have my right leg out. My right hand is going to hug my left shoulder. I'm going to hug my belly as I fall down, like so. It takes a lot of practice to get used to it, to make sure that you are doing the techniques correctly, so that you can, as time goes on, it hurts less. Your body will get used to it. Another thing, as you go along, you will notice that your body will naturally learn to be relaxed. Because if you are completely tense as you make impact, it hurts more. So you need to learn how to relax as you go along. So now that we are up to this point, we're going to again start from a half squatting position between a deep squat and a full standing position. And this is what it looks like. Again, my leg is going to come straight out and I'm going to fall to my side. This is what it would look like. Remember to exhale. All of the fundamental movements are still there. Once again, I will try to do this as slow as I can. From a half squat position, I'm going to bring one leg straight out, and I'm just going to fall to my side. Hug my belly, hug my shoulder, and slap the ground. The final position is from a full standing position. I am standing up and I'm just going to fall straight to my side. Again, all of the techniques, all of the basic movements are still there. I need to tuck in my chin to my chest. I need to exhale as I land, hug my shoulder, hug my belly, and I'm going to slap at a 45-degree angle. This time, as I'm standing up, I'm a lot higher. I'm going to here. I need to get all of the air from my lungs out as quickly as possible. That's what the key is for. So this is how it looks standing up. One more time. And there you have it. You not only have the Ushido Ukemi, but now also Yoko Ukemi. Now, when it comes to these Ukemi or break falls, what are they and what do we use them for? Let's start with definition number one. A break fall is a technique that will help disperse the impact on your body. In other words, if you are falling down and you land on your shoulder, all of the impact, all of your weight is going to be concentrated on that one area. When you do a break fall technique, you're slapping the ground, you're trying to land as flat as possible, and you're exhaling, getting the air out of your lungs. You are dispersing the energy throughout your body and you're distributing the impact. So it is not concentrated on that one area. Now it's throughout the whole area and the risk of injury is lessened. And now we're on the second part of the definition, and that is it will protect your head, your hands, your fingers, your limbs, and your legs, basically all of your limbs and your joints from injury. And what I mean by this is when you fall backwards, you're going to protect your head from any impact. That's the number one goal, is you're trying to prevent any form of concussion or brain injury, and just protect your head, period. You don't want to crack open your head and you're bleeding all over the place. Protecting your hands, your joints, you don't want to be falling and put your hands straight out. That's going to create impact on your wrists, possibly your fingers. There's fractures waiting to happen. It can happen at your elbow joint, your shoulder joint. You want to prevent these kinds of injuries. The same goes for your legs. When you fall, you want to land in a very specific way so that your legs are not going to hit each other. Your feet are not going to hit each other and create possible injuries. So that is what break falls or ukemi really are all about. It's preventing injury. And like I said in the intro, it's not only for martial arts like judo or even Krav Maga. You can utilize this in Muay Thai, although very often they just try to post their hands. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the break falls are not taught as much in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Some schools do this very well. Aikido is excellent for these break falls. All the various forms of Kung Fu, Korean martial arts, is great for martial arts, period. Now, what about sports? Absolutely. When you know how to fall properly, you learn how to lessen the risk of injury. Football, for example, if I am going for a catch, I caught the ball, I need to bring it, and I need to turn my body a certain way so that I land safely. What about basketball? Oftentimes you will see these athletes, they would jump up for the ball. Now the hit from underneath, now they're falling head first. Oftentimes they would try to break fall this way, push it on. That's an injury waiting to happen. So you need to be able to maneuver your body in a certain way so that you can prevent these injuries. Now what about everyday life? Just imagine, if you will, you're at a grocery store, you're shopping, you're grabbing your mayo, you're grabbing your apples, some sack of potatoes, whatever, and then you step in a puddle of water as you're walking around, and then boom! You just fell and now you're injured. You're hurt very bad. So yes, break falls are a necessary technique for everyday life. It can happen when you're grocery shopping. It can happen when you're out walking on a sidewalk, raining or snow. What if it's ice on the ground? You're going to slip and fall. You want to be able to learn how to prevent injury to yourself as you fall. That's why I consider this video to be one of the most important.